Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. It's going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So this is going to be episode 3 of my artifact guide. This one is going to be about jewellery items. So what do I look for in jewellery items? What do I keep? This is probably one of the areas that as you progress through the game, your outlook changes, because spiders is basically the hardest dungeon in the game. It's a funny dungeon though, because it's the hardest, and then it becomes the easiest. So you kind of go early game, mid game, end game. It's really hard. And you get to like super end game, it becomes your fastest dungeon and the easiest way for you to get silver in this game. Anyway, that's kind of by the by. So what do I do then when I'm looking for artifacts? I've just farmed a load of stuff so I can kind of show you how I select things, what I can get rid of, what I'm going to keep, why I'm keeping it, that type of stuff. Now, it's definitely different for different types of champions, and it's definitely different for different stages of the game. So if I think about 90% of my champions that I would want to gear for clan boss, dungeons, I would actually want to put a defense-based ring on most of my champions, because you boost base defense by quite a lot by doing that. Really effective in clan boss, really effective in dungeon content. You get some other champions that have a really terrible base defense. Take Mashold actually as a legendary champion, really great legendary, but he's got this shockingly bad base defense. So you have to get high defense onto his items, and that's where you can kind of get it from places like rings or amulets or even banners. Have high base defense, so they're good for weak defensive base champions. But anyway, let's get into the topic then. So what do I look for? I actually look for a good selection of the main stat first. So I've got attack, HP, attack. I've actually probably got too many attack rings here. I've got tons of them. Looking at it now, tons of them. And then I go into like my different types, mainly because if you think about it, what I've just said there, a lot of my champions are wearing defense rings. Not a lot of my champions are wearing attack rings. So when I'm then looking, so I've got too many attack rings here. So let's filter on them. So what am I going to look for? I'm going to try and find my best 4 or 5, which pretty much means straight away, unless I had insane rolls here, I would be selling the 2 5-star pieces for me, because I've got a bunch of 6-star pieces here already. Next thing I'm looking for is, what are the other roles? Now, attack rings are different from the other rings. Attack is only beneficial to attack-based champions. It's not beneficial to HP-based champions or defense-based champions. Therefore, on attack rings, I'm looking for attack percentage rolls, but I also like defense percentage and HP percentage, because attack-based champions benefit from all of those stats. Whereas any other champion in the game, any other type of ring in the game, like let's say I've got a defense-based champion, so I'm looking for defense as the main stat. If there was a load of attack down here, then that would not be a good ring, and I would probably get rid of that ring. So that's a kind of example. But anyway, these attack-based rings, what am I looking for? I'm looking for multiple percentage rolls. 2 here, 1 in attack, 1 in defense. That's definitely a keeper. 2 here, both in defensive stats. That's actually still good. 2 again is good. 2 again with attack there. Nice. 3 there. That's like your perfect roll here. 3 percentage rolls. Perfect. 2 here, and I've already rolled 1 in attack. Very nice. 2 here. I'd have to roll some of that percentage for this to be good. So I'm only selling one of these right now, which is going to be this one, because it's got just a bad set of stats to go with the ring. And the next thing I will do is start to just invest a little bit of silver to see, am I going to actually land the percentage stats? But most importantly, am I going to land that double roll in attack? So I've rolled straight in that main, in that flat stat there. The worst one I could have rolled, I've rolled it. That piece is probably going to be sold unless I get similar bad luck elsewhere. This piece is already good. I'm just seeing how good it can become. So do we get a double roll in that attack percentage? If we do, then That's going to be like the piece I want. But even that is nice. So that's a definite keeper. This one, I would have to roll some percentage stats for this to be a keeper. Forget that it's a legendary item, guys. It really means very little at this stage if you're rolling bad substat rolls. So I need to get percentages for my champions to do better, not that kind of weak 19 defense. What is that going to do for you versus this? This is probably still a keeper because there's more. This one we know is insane. I can get nothing bad here. What I prefer though is to get double rolls in the same thing. I don't even care what it is. Ideally attack because it's an attack based ring. But right now, if I get a double roll in defense, fantastic. I actually don't really care what substats this is. This is the best ring I've got by a mile. But it will all be situational on the type of the thing that you're doing. So, you know, if you've got, so we've got double roll defense here. That's going to be good for a decent attack based champion who's actually got a good defense basic roll. So let me try and find one quickly. This is not a bad example. All of her damage is based on attack, but she's got quite a good defense. So I want her to be high defense, but I don't mind putting an attack ring on her, for example. So rings, then you're looking for multiple percentage stats on a good base. And you want to give yourself a good selection of attack, defense, and HP ones. So this one, with the amount of rings I've got here, I do not need. With one, I'm looking for the same percentage stat as the main stat, pretty much. That's gone. No, that's not. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. This one, it's not the best. That's good. This one, not great. If I got defense with defense percentage roll, I would keep it. No point in that one. Same there. Yeah, same there. This one, bad, bad. This one you'd probably roll up a couple of times to see if you've got yourself a double roll of defense. It's a defense ring. You do not want that flat stat. If you do, you may as well get rid of it. So that's the kind of logic on rings. Try and get percentage stats, and ideally keep the ones that are going to roll in favor of the main stat. Main stat defense, roll in favor of that defense. So that one can go. So that's rings. Let's move on to amulets. A good little tip you can do here to kind of thin out some of the amulets is to just look at the attack-based ones. Now, 99% of your champions, if you're trying to get damage onto them, you're going to want to put crit damage. The only people that scale better with attack versus crit are people like your bomb champions, maybe your poison explode champions, but pretty much any of these attack-based with attack-based amulets you're not going to use. The only time you might use them is if you get a crazy accuracy roll or crazy resistance roll and you're trying to build a really niche kind of type of build. So this one straight away is going to be sold. That's straight away sold. That's straight away sold. So all of those three, because I didn't roll accuracy here, because we got no accuracy or resistance here or here, they will straight away be sold. The two that are left, I always will keep at least one because I might just need that niche build. But I'm trying to find if we actually roll some accuracy here to make this a worthwhile piece. It needs to be there. It's not. So that one is now not high priority. Same situation here. I'm only going to keep one, maybe two attack-based amulets. So do they roll the sort of things I want? This now needs to be a double resistance for it to be, you know, that type of niche build that I'm talking about. If it spreads out the stats, I'm not really interested in it. Spreading them out, so this one's not a great piece. So I've got way too many attack-based amulets. I'm going to thin those out. I only need a couple per set. The high priority amulets are defense-based. So defense-based, even on attack-based champions, most of your attack-based champions will need a defense-based amulet or an HP-based amulet or a crit damage. But most of them will probably need defense because you need to try and keep them alive. Yeah? You need to keep your champions alive. Defense is the best way to do that. But what you're looking for here, if you've got a whole selection like I've got, again, is these substats. Mainly what you want is accuracy or resistance, depending on the type of build you're trying to do. So, and probably even then, 9 times out of 10, it's accuracy because you want to land your abilities. So this type of piece, I'm rolling up to see, am I going to get a double roll in accuracy? If I'm not, then it's probably quite a low priority piece. I wouldn't take it up past that unless I'm kind of coming back to a different type of build. In this instance, it's got to be here, and it is. So that's now a kind of keeper. So that's what you're looking for in your defensive base ones. Your crit damage ones, again, you're probably just going to keep the ones that have got some substats that you want. A 5-star for me is not a keeper unless I've got some sort of accuracy down here. And then when you get to banners, most of your banners, when you progress through the game, are going to be accuracy if you've got any sort of ability to land. Yeah. So most champions do. Most champions have got some sort of debuff that they want to land, or skill like turn meter reduction, something like that. Like this guy has got a freeze. Absolutely need accuracy to land it. You know, Tormund's got freezes, need accuracy to land it. So almost all of those champions you want an accuracy banner on. It enables you to put better gear sets everywhere else. On people that don't need accuracy, Arbiter is a good example of that. She does have an accuracy move, but it's not high priority for her. She's not a good example, actually. Let's go for who doesn't need it. Ethos. Ethos is a out-and-out damage dealer, and the thing that needs accuracy is terrible, so we don't care about it. He's an out-and-out Nuketown damage dealer. So for his banner, you want either a boost in attack stat, a boost in defense stat, or a boost in HP stat. And really what you want to find is a whole bunch of speed in it. So that's what I'd be looking for on anyone that doesn't need accuracy. And then on your accuracy banners, ideally, you find them with speed on. Okay, so speed is king. You want to get yourself some rolls of speed on your banners, because that's going to help you with your build up the top. So most of my banners at my level of the game, I will keep the ones now that are new that have got speed on. If they do not have speed on and they're new, so if I do just new, I do have speed there and I do have speed there. So actually both of the ones I've got that are new, I've got speed on. So what I would probably do, because the other substat's not great, I'd probably just roll them up to see if I land a bit more speed, especially because they're 5-star and I'm looking now for 6-star pieces. Didn't land speed, so that one for me is a goner. For most people, that's still a keeper, yeah? But for my level of account, that's now gone. Same with this one. The other substat's terrible. So I need to land speed twice to think about keeping this. Because I've already got better pieces, yeah? But most people, any sort of speed level here is going to be a keeper for you. So accuracy plus speed is about as good a combo as you're going to get on your banners. Now, if you've got some other people that don't need accuracy, let's take a Skull Crusher as a good example. It might be in my vault. Let's just get him out quick. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's not in my vault. Just can't see him. There he is. So Skull Crusher, defensive based champion. I actually want to find defense plus speed. That's what I'm looking for in my Skull Crusher. Defense main stat. If I could get a defense roll as well, even better. Plus speed. That's what you want on your banners. So when I'm choosing selection on banners, you probably, again, you want a bit of a selection. So I want a couple of HP ones, but not this many. So I can thin this out. I probably want maybe like 2 or 3 good ones. So if I've got a couple of 6-stars, none of them have got speed on them. So this one is actually still a keeper, but that can go. I want to keep at least 3 for me. In each set, so we do the same sort of thing here. We've rolled speed on that one, nice. No speed there, got some speed there, plus attack, it's not great. No speed there, so I'm going to sell the 5-star with no speed, keep myself 3 of them. This one, we've got a bit of speed, good, bit of speed, good, speed, and double roll speed. So all of those are actually quite good. I'm going to keep all of those. Bit of speed, no speed, bit of speed, we've got 3 anyway, so that's fine. So this one's a definite goner, no speed on it and bad subs. Yeah, so I'm just kind of working my way through and deciding which ones to keep. This one for me is a goner, 2 bad sub stats, and I've already got speed elsewhere. So that's what I do on my banners. On HP, on attack, even less likely to use an attack-based banner. Maybe keep 2, and they need to have speed on for me to be interested. This has actually rolled terribly. I don't know why I rolled that up to 16. I must have been desperate for speed somewhere. Pretty good. Bit of speed there, bit of speed there, bit of speed there. They're all good, all 6-star. Speed, no speed, no speed. They're both gone. So you can see attack banners even less likely to use them, and I'd have to get speed on them and other good stats to even consider it. If we then talk about defense again is quite niche, but if you've got enough accuracy in your build without an accuracy banner, you might decide to do defense to keep someone alive better. Again, you're looking for speed and good rolls of percentage stats to keep them, but you might keep 4 or 5 of these in each faction. For me, I've got to the point where, you know, I've got too many of these, so I don't really need to be keeping additionals. And some of them I've got loads plus good substats, so I wouldn't keep these ones down the bottom end. And actually selling these artifacts gains you a ton of silver, guys. So don't just sit on them. Sell them if they're not required for your account. Yep, so that's defense. Resist, you might want to have 2 or 3 resistance banners in each set. And again, you're probably going to want speed. The main reason you're going to build resistance is probably a high resistance faction war champion or a high resistance arena champion. You want to get as much resistance as you can for those type of builds. So chances are I'm not going to keep any 5-star pieces in resistance gear because I want that main stat to be massively high. The only time I keep them, again, is if I get crazy speed rolls or I've got no other options. So you're going to want to keep a few. You probably are going to want to match it with defense because generally if you're building someone high resistance, you're trying to stop them from taking a hit. So, and you want to get some speed into those rolls. So again, maybe three or so banners per faction. And you see here, I'm picking out the ones that have got speed on and at 6-star. And then accuracy is where you just keep a much bigger selection. Keep a selection because there's most of your champions are going to need accuracy banners. Hope that's been helpful, guys. Jewelry items, don't sit on them. Do clean them out. I've probably got more than I need. I'm going to do a cleanse myself, but it tops your silver up massively if you clean out the stuff you don't need. I've been Hell Hades. That's been episode 3 of my artifact guide.